Welcome, everyone, and thank you for tuning into this special release. I am Shantrice Winston, CEO and founder of ENOM Healthcare Consultant, LLC, an advisory board member and ambassador for the Nurses Magazine. Today's interview is incredibly special because we're speaking with someone whose story represents resilience, discipline, purpose, and a new generation of leadership within nursing. Joining me today is Demetria Coley, one of the youngest graduates from Florida State University College of Nursing. What makes her journey remarkable is not only her academic achievement, but the life experiences and the personal strength that shaped the woman behind the accomplishments. Demetria also graduated from high school when she was 15 years old, another major accomplishment, and has continued pursuing excellence while navigating life experiences. Today, we're beyond the headline to talk to her about purpose, perseverance, growth, resiliency, and what the future of nursing looks like through the eyes of an emerging leader. So, Demetria, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today. And before we dive into all of your accomplishments, because like I told you, when I first saw the stuff online, I was like, this has got to be AI because there is no way this young lady is amazing and brilliant. And how have I not heard about her before? But you are a real person. So with that being said, to all the people that are listening, to the people out there, I want you to tell me about Demetria. Aside of the accomplishments, aside of academics and nurses, who is Demetria? What is your favorite food, your favorite color? What do you music you like to listen to? Who is Demetria behind all of what we see and what we have come to know?
Well, thank y'all for having me. To answer that question, honestly, I'm just a young 18-year-old finding her way in the world. I know I just got my degree and I'm at the same pace of where a 20-something-year-old would be, but honestly, I'm just a young girl, barely 18, barely 19, finding her way around the world. I love traveling. I love hanging out with my friends. I still love doing the same stuff as a young person would do. Um, I had a couple hobbies. While I was raised in Tallahassee, my dad he required us to do like arts or sports. So I did flag football for a minute, and then I did violin, piano, and guitar
Okay.
all separately. They were all little side quests. Violin was the one that stuck the longest. I think I did it from like sixth grade to like all the way when I graduated high school. Um, but yeah, I'm just a simple girl.
Just a simple girl, just a simple girl. Nothing about you is simple. You said we, so does that mean you have siblings? Do you have brothers, sisters? How many? Are you in the middle? You older, the younger one?
Yes, ma'am. I have an older sister. She is 22. She just graduated with her master's in health administration.
Right.
I
Okay.
have a younger brother. He's 13. He's gonna go to high school, and then I
Okay.
have my little Tinker baby. He's 2 years old. The newest of the bunch, and
Okay.
uh,
You said your sister is 22 and just got her master's. So this is a family thing. Like y'all are in this big. Like y'all are into beating the eyes, and I absolutely love it. Representation means everything. And for, that other young black girl out there that's like, can I, am I, should I? Like you are the replica of yes, you can, yes, you should, and yes, you are able to. For you, graduating from high school at 15 was also extraordinary. When did you just realize that your path was very different from the other individuals your age? Yes, we still, we go to the same parties, and yes, like you said, I still love to travel with my friends, and I still have my friend group. But when it comes to the academic world and to where your path has lead, when did you realize that your path was just going to be a little bit different?
um, I think it definitely didn't hit me until high school. After because middle school, you're just running around. I was 9. I was definitely just running around doing whatever I was told to do. Like I wasn't really, I wasn't really paying attention to really what was going on. But
Okay.
I definitely in high school, once I started that first college class, I said, "Ooh, this is a little. I feel like I shouldn't be here at 13. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's slow this down." But I think it was definitely around that time when I first started at TCC that I realized that, ooh, like this is different because I'm sitting here on the Zoom classes. Because at the time that was like COVID era, where
Okay.
on the Zoom and we were just learning from that. And I'm sitting here staring at grown people in my class. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this is going to be something interesting. But I'm excited for the ride. So let's see how it goes.
So, with that being said, what would you say to that other high school? It's the high school individual, male or female, and they are at that point in their high school journey where that opportunity is brought to them. So being able to take those additional classes and being able to get college credits for them, what advice would you give them? Was that something that you would, if you had to turn back the hands of time, would you still continue in that path?
I absolutely would. Whether I was younger or not, that's the first choice. I always tell people it's something my dad taught me. And I tell people to this day when they ask me about my journey, go to the dual enrollment. Don't take the AP. It's really beneficial in the long run. My dual enrollment, it's basically you getting free college, and 9 times out of 10, the college is not going to deny a dual enrollment credit, but they could very well deny the AP credit and all your work that you did to get your college credit in high school. It just tanks. So I definitely say, yeah, hit the dual enrollment books. That's my number one advice for anybody in high school. Just please steer clear from the AP.
And see, and that's important information because, depending on your school, your counselor, if you're a person that's really quiet and don't ask questions, you may not know that. You're
Mhm.
presented with the AP classes and you just go ahead and take them, not knowing that in the end, depending on where your end goals are, dual enrollment will probably be more beneficial. So that's definitely helpful to that individual that is 13, 14, 15 years old and trying to figure out, okay, what my path look like and what makes sense for what's going on.
Mhm.
Um, of course, I did my research about you because I wanted to know some things about you. And I've heard you talk a lot about your dad, and I know that you lost your mom. How has that propelled you forward into what you've continued to do? Because I can tell you, especially young kids, they take grief very different. And whereas you could have taken that an opportunity to go a completely different route, it clearly appears you have taken um, that point in your life and help use it to help you propel forward and to be an amazing individual. So how did that help propel you? And if there is one thing that you think your mom would say to you today, what would that be?
How did that propel me? I know my dad, just background information. He's a teacher. He's been a teacher since before I was born, before my sister was born. After this whole internet thing, this whole thing came out on the internet, I got DMs from his old students from before I was born saying, "Oh my gosh, your dad was my teacher. Like, I'm so happy for you." I'm like, "Oh, hey, thank you. I don't know you would think me so much." But I did, like, just to give background, he's very heavy on education. No matter what, if we had to quit the violin, if we had to quit the sport to get our grades up, you're going to do that because your education comes first, no matter what. Especially as a young African American Black woman, that is
Yes. Yes.
the keystone and a pillar to building your future. So he never played that when it came to education. So he definitely pushed me to persevere past everything that happened with my mother, because I believe she passed right. It was right when I think it was the semester I started college, or the dual enrollment credits. She passed that November, like a day or two before Thanksgiving. So we were on break when everything happened. And I knew what my mom instilled in me too, because she was the same way. She never played about the education. She would come home from work, like my dad would teach us the math and the history aspect while we were homeschooled, and then my mom would come home from work and she would focus on teaching us science and like health sciences, because she was a nurse and a um, pharmacist. But those two, there was no choice for not pursuing your education. So what she instilled in me before she passed, and what my dad continued to instill in me despite all the troubles we were going through and the grieving we were going through, definitely pushed me through that era. I refused to not make my mother proud. I refused. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that is when I say an amazing just it speaks to who you are, and it speaks literally to resiliency. It speaks to perseverance. It speaks to having a higher purpose and knowing that early on. And as you say, you wanted to make your mom proud. I mean, when it comes to education, you really didn't have, a choice. Your dad is an educator. And what you saying, your mom is a nurse. Is that the reason why you chose nursing? Is that what prompted you to go into the nursing field? Okay. And why NICU of all the other areas of nursing? Why the little bitty babies?
I have many, 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 many reasons. One being I just like the merge between the patient-centered, family-centered care and then the science behind it all and the patho behind all the different diseases and being able to see it on like a tiny little baby and be able to help them through it. I don't know, because I feel like babies deserve the world. I don't know. And so it's really an honor to be able to take care of not only a baby, but their family through such a troubling, critical time in their lives. They're barely beginning lives at that. I find it a blessing to be even have the opportunity to do so. And also, my brother was a NICU baby. My the littlest one, Tickalooty, his real name is Demetria, but the 2-year-old, he was a NICU baby. So seeing that, I feel like that definitely confirmed that's where I needed to be. It definitely solidified it for me. That along with my preceptorship.
Got it. Which you brought up two good points. One, having that family experience, having your brother as a NICU baby. I had a NICU daughter. She's 20, she'll be 24 this year. You have to think about it. She'll be 24 this year, so I definitely understand that. And then there's always a place for everybody in nursing. Like I know myself, I am too sentimental to deal with a little bitty sick baby. As you say, normally when babies are that sick, one or two things happen. Either they was born with, whatever that disease or that issue was, or somebody did something to them. And either way is unfair to them because they don't really deserve, you feel like they haven't started life to be where they are. So I would just cry all day. I did ICU adult world, my majority of my career for 17 of my 24-year career. And is I can do adults, but little babies, they just make me sentimental. But that is the great thing that I try to express about anybody that comes to be about nursing. There is a place and a space for you, no matter what your path looks like and where your heart and your purpose is. And it definitely takes a special person to be a NICU nurse. And like you said, you having to not just take care of a baby, you're also taking care of parent and family as well. And a lot of times in the adult world, we don't get that. Like, I was accustomed to just having a patient a lot of the times and family not being present, a family not being available when, the majority of the time for your NICU babies, mom is going to be present, dad is going to be present, you're going to have other family members present. And so you also have to be able to care for them while you're still caring for that baby. So that takes a very special person. Um, we see the accomplishments. We see all that you've achieved. We see the greatness in you. I still see this beautiful smile and this happy young lady that is enjoying life and doing all of those things. But what we often don't see is the discipline behind it. So, if there is anything that you say that you may have sacrificed for being your age and already being where you are, this month, most 18-year-olds were getting ready for prom and dressing up and in Maybachs and all of these things, and you're walking across a college stage. So if at anything, if there was anything that you think you may have sacrificed that if you could go back that you would not have done or you would do differently, what would that be?
Um, Honestly, I wouldn't change anything that happened. I believe that everything happened for a reason. Put me on this path for a reason. God's purpose is playing out in my life. But I definitely did miss out. I'd say the biggest thing I missed out on was companionship and friendship and interactions with people my age. Um, I'm not gonna say it like made or break the experience because it didn't. But I definitely think it could have shaped me a little differently if I was able to be around people my age. Because of course, if I'm around people that are like older than me, I'm gonna go to my parents asking to do the same things as me. My dad's gonna look crazy, and I'm just gonna look at him like, but I'm literally in the same classes as them. I'm doing the same thing as them. Like, why can't I do this one thing? Like, I remember I wanted to, when I first graduated high school, I was 15 and I was supposed to start summer semester at FAMU, so I still would have been 15. And I was trying to convince my dad. So looking back at it, I didn't need to be in the dorm. I was 15 and we live right down the road from FAMU. But at the time, I'm like, Daddy, but like everybody's going to the dorm. Like, why can't I follow them? Like, please, 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 please. And he's like, no, you're a child. You don't
No.
be at a dorm. And you know, I never really thought about this experience again until just now. And now I'm saying it out loud. I'm so glad he said no. That makes a lot of sense. But point being, I just think that I definitely missed out on companionship with people my age. But I definitely, the friends I have now definitely made up for it. Like I'm staying with my friends right now. We're gonna go on a trip. The friends I have now and the people I've met now definitely make up for that. So I don't regret it. It's just something that I notice from time to time.
Got it. And I mean, I totally, what you said was so adult. First of all, recognizing that, and I tell my kids this all the time, as parents, sometimes when we say no, it's in your best interest, even though at that point in time, you're like, why can't I? Because we've been where you are. And so we kind of know. But to recognize that, and like you said, I said it out loud and I understand why it was a no. And also to recognize that whatever or whoever did not come into your life at that time or did not stick around or did not make you a part of their friend group, they weren't designed to go with you into your future. Everybody that we come across is not designed to go where you're going. And so, like you said, it hasn't stopped you. It definitely hasn't stopped who you become. It hasn't stopped the amazing person and individual that you are. And you now have a group of people that appreciate you for who you are, that you can still travel with, that you can feel safe with, that you can bond with and have conversations with. And that's important in no matter what level and capacity you are in life. So I am grateful that you have that and that you have found that. And again, I told you I'm grateful for you taking time to speak to me, and I hope you have an amazing time on your trip. Before we get ready to end this call, I have two last questions for you. My first one would be, what advice would you give to another young person that's aspiring to go to nursing school?
Buckle in, just buckle in. I'm not gonna say. I will say TikTok and the internet and YouTube. Everybody they over scared me. It wasn't
Okay.
as bad as. And guys, I know I'm smart, but I'm not a genius. So
You are
you know it's debatable. And so, guys,
not. You are.
it's like
Take your flowers, okay? You are.
thank you, but nursing school is not as bad as the internet pegged it to be. Like they swore, oh, you were not gonna have a life. Like tell your friends you're not gonna talk to them for the next 2 years. Tell your family like I'll see you at the next family reunion in 2 years. Like locked and loaded into books every day. No, no.
It wasn't that bad.
Like there is still room for a life outside of nursing school. You're definitely gonna have to figure out the balance. It takes a second, like because the way FSU's program is laid out, it's like you have a year and like 4 or 5 months, and that's the program division. That's it. You have 4 semesters to get what you need done, and then you graduate. So you definitely have to be quick with finding your balance because, like I said, you got 4 semesters to find your balance, and if you fail a class, you're getting held back. If you fail a class again, you're getting kicked out of the program. So
Yeah.
you definitely have to be on your A game, but you also have to find your balance because you're going to go insane if you don't find your balance and figure out how to have good grades and have a life. You're gonna go insane because all you're gonna see is textbook, 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 notes, 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 lecture, lecture, clinical, clinical. That's it. You're going to go crazy. I personally would.
And you have to find that. You definitely have to find that balance. And I'm glad that you said that. Because even as individuals that are 20 in their 30s graduating from nursing school, like finding balance is hard. Finding not being burned out, not being which I am, to see you and to see your smile and to say for you to say that it wasn't that bad, because that was, one of my concerns when I first saw you. I was like, I know adults that are so burned out and so drained. And so I hope that this nursing path did not do that to her. Like, I don't want her to come into the nursing world and profession feeling like I'm so overwhelmed, am I already burned out, and did I make the right choice? And it sounds like you don't have a second guess in the world on whether or not you made the right choice and this is what you want to do. So I'm so happy to hear that. Kind of my last question for you is, what are next steps for Demetria? What are the next amazing things? Because I know this is not the end. Like, I know that this is not the end. So what's next for Demetria? What does the future look like for Demetria?
Getting a NICU job to start off. I'm looking to hire a NICU new grad nurse.
Okay.
Here, guys.
All right, we're gonna definitely put that plug out. Demetria, if anybody's looking for a NICU nurse, here we go.
I'm right here, guys. Like, please do not be afraid to email me. But that's definitely first things first. I got to pass the NCLEX. We just got cleared, or I just got cleared yesterday. Got to go schedule my test, pass the test, get my job. From there, I'm taking a break from school. I know everybody's saying, "Girl, go get that graduate degree. Go get that master's, that doctor." Guys, please, I have time.
You need a break.
I have time, and
you need a break. You
like,
need a break. I definitely listen. I agree. I definitely agree. It's not going anywhere, okay? And you won't have a problem getting into school. But if you already know, like, I feel like you've been pedaled to the metal for so long, enjoy where you are. You know, enjoy nursing, enjoy your career, get your feet wet, get your feet grounded. You know, figure out what if an advanced degree is something that you even want, and if so, what does that look like? Do I want to continue in the NICU world? Do I want to be an NP? Do I want to go into leadership? Because there's so many different paths that you can take. So I totally agree with just taking your time, taking a break, and figuring it out, and enjoy being where you are. You've worked really hard for these accomplishments, and you should be able to enjoy them. I definitely agree. Don't let anybody tell you to rush into it. I'm gonna be full transparent with you. I graduated from college in 2002. I didn't go back and get my master's until 2023. Not because I couldn't, but because my life was a little bit different. I was a wife, I was a mom, and so those were my priorities. But also, I enjoyed what I did. I enjoyed being at the bedside. I enjoyed precepting. I enjoyed getting to take care of patients and literally have that patient on the brink of death and be able to see them walk out or be transferred out to another unit. So definitely take your time, enjoy it, because nursing isn't going anywhere, and so you always have that ability to go back, and then it gives you the opportunity to know exactly what it is that you want to go back to do, and not just go get a degree, and it's not exactly what you want to do. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes. Is there any nuggets that you want to leave with me, that you want to leave with whoever may listen to this? Is there any knowledge that you want to leave? Any words of inspiration straight from Demetria?
Keep God first, and don't take APs. Take dual enrollment classes. Thank you.
Yeah. Y'all heard it first here. Do not take AP, take the enrollment classes. Demetria, thank you so much for your story, for your honesty, for your grace. Your journey is a reminder that resilience and purpose can coexist, and that leadership is often forged long before titles and recognition arrive. I see a bright future for you, and I promise you, I'm going to stay in touch, and I'm going to check in. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. Drop me a DM, drop me a text. You know how to get in touch with me. I believe your voice will encourage so many people, especially young women and women of color and minorities, who are trying to find strength and trying to figure out, what do I do and what does pursuing excellence look like. So thank you again. Enjoy your trip. And thank you to everyone that is going to tune in to this interview. Be sure to follow the Nurses Magazine, ENOM Healthcare, and Demetria on social media platforms for more conversations highlighting leaders, innovators, and voices shaping the future of healthcare. Have a good one.